Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl, Emily. I'm a Nigerian content creator who lives in Canada. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by again. Um, Guys, thank you so much for your love and support on my previous video. Please get that video to 1,000 views. I'm really grateful. So a lot of you like send me a message like, I wonder why you guys don't leave your comments in the comment section. Most of you just write me on Instagram or send me an email. I really appreciate it, but I want you to engage more with my video and leave your comments, your thoughts in the comment section. So some people reached out to me and asked me, will I be moving to the US? And the answer is no. Have I considered moving to the US? The answer is yes, but due to some reasons, I will not be moving to the US anytime soon. This video, I'm just going to be talking about how I see Germany after living in Canada for almost 2 years. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I know Germany introduced the Chasen Carter visa. This is for like non-immigrants, people that are not born in Europe, or like people from other countries to come to Germany on this visa and work in Germany. So people have asked me, because I lived in Germany, what I think about this visa. And I think that it's really important for people to take the opportunity to move to Germany. But the only disadvantage, like I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage, but I would say the only limiting factor is the block funds. A lot of people don't have that block funds to show to move to Germany. So that's the limiting like factor. I wish they didn't have that block funds as part of the requirements for people to move to Germany, but it is needed because you actually need that money to live in Germany, like until you get a job. Like you need that money to pay your rent, to pay your bills, and all of that. So that is why that block fund was put in place. But I don't know how people actually plan to do it, like without the block funds. I don't know what the plan would be. Maybe their parents will send them money from back home. But like Germany put that in place so that people don't come into the country and want to seek asylum or refugee or things like that. And that's why that block fund was put in place. So I'm not talking about the Charles and Carter visa today. I'm just going to be talking about how I view Germany after living in Canada for almost 2 years. And if you see me looking down, it's just because I wrote down some things and I don't want to forget. So I have 7 things I wrote down here about living in Germany. Like I will compare this 7 things I itemized here as to living in Germany versus living in Canada. So the first thing is quality of life. I want to say that the quality of life in Germany is far better than the quality of life in Canada. And the reason why I say the quality of life in Germany is far better than the quality of life in Canada, let's take, for example, the healthcare. Like the healthcare in Canada, everybody know that the healthcare in Canada, I don't want to use the word shitty, but it is really bad. Like the healthcare in Canada is bad, but the healthcare in Germany is far better than the healthcare in Canada. I'm not saying that like I'm Christian. I'm not saying that we pray for sickness or we pray for like any type of ailment or anything, but like I feel like we as people should have better access to healthcare. That is just my own thought. I feel like for example, if you need to see a doctor for something, if it's not urgent, they're going to ascertain whether that thing is urgent or not. So in their own sight or in their own eyes or in their own terms, like if they feel like that thing is not urgent, you can be in a wait list for like 6 months down the line to see a doctor, and that thing may be scaring you. It may be like, for you it's scary, but for the like the doctors here would say it's not nothing to worry about, it's all right. And just going to the healthcare here is free. So going to the hospital, you can be waiting there for 10, 12, 15, 16 hours to see a doctor. Like I remember one time my son was really sick, and I think I made a video about it, and we went to the hospital and we are there for several hours. Like this time last year, I was not feeling so good. December 31st precisely of 2023, 23. I was in the hospital and I was there for more than 12 hours before I could see a doctor. So imagine, like, they don't take it like, and you know, when I was asking the trag nurse there, she said there was only one doctor available. And I find it very hard to like just imagine in a very big hospital, why is there only one doctor on the 31st night? You know, like people went would go partying, or what if there's an accident or something? So for quality of life, like with healthcare, like quality of life with food, like I find out that food is cheaper in Germany as compared to Canada, like things like that. It just overall quality of life, I would give it to Germany. I would say Germany is far, far better than Canada for quality of life. And number two would be immigration. As an African immigrant, I would say that for immigration, I'll give it to Canada. The reason why I'll give it to Canada is that you can see that Canada has so many pathways for you to move to Canada as an immigrant. And why would I would say an African immigrant? Because we as Africans, we have we're very limited with our passports as to how many countries we can go visa free. So like Canada is a very good country for like any African, like I'm saying African. I know that a lot of people, a lot of people that are not Africans also watch my video, but I want to like speak to Africans. Like Germany is one place that Canada is one place that I can say for sure that they have so many pathways for you to move to Canada and to get your permanent residence, and in which in 3 years you can apply for your passport. Let me not say in 3 years because you may be leaving the country in 3 years. So if you are stayed in Canada as a permanent resident, or you've been legal in Canada with your permanent resident for 1,095 days, you're eligible to apply for a citizenship. So for Germany, it's not the same. Like the case is different. Like Germany have very limited policies for Africans or for immigrants to live in the country. Okay, I'll take for example, when I first left Ukraine as a result of the war, I moved to Germany, and Germany, like the government, like the policies that was put in place for us African immigrants that were schooling in Ukraine to to stay in Germany was hard. We were giving like a few weeks to leave the country. Like if people were getting like 2 weeks, you have to leave the country. But as compared to like these other people, like immigrants that as well that moved to Canada from Ukraine, like you can see that Canada gave them temporary policies for them to stay in Canada and like try to get a job and everything. But Germany was like some provinces in Germany was doing that, but they were giving you the refugee status, as well as like some provinces will want you to seek asylum. Like it was really hard. Like if you even watch videos, it is really, really hard for the African immigrants to like break through into the German immigration system. So that's, I'll leave it as that. I'm not trying to say that Germany doesn't have good immigration policies or anything, but I would say that Canadian immigration policies are much friendlier than the German immigration policies. So the next thing that will be on my list is education. I want to say I'll give this to Germany because Germany has excellent educational system. Why would I say excellent? I would say in the sense that a lot of people, they don't have money to go to the university and study to do a BSc, masters, and PhD. If you compare to Canada, the cost of an immigrant to come to Canada to study is so expensive, with the proof of funds, the cost of tuition and everything. It's so expensive as compared to Germany. Germany, you can study your BSc, your masters, your PhD for free, as far as you can show your block funds, and as far as you can get admission into the university. You don't have to do too much. If you have admission, you can get your visa, then you have block funds, you can study in Germany for free. So for that, for education in the higher level, I'll give it to Germany. Number four will be public transportation. And public transportation for this, excuse me, for public transportation, I'll give it to Germany. Like in Germany, like even in small cities and like small provinces, you can see that the transportation system is like their buses, their trains, their tramways. Like there are things that used to move around as a student. But here in Canada, like only in bigger cities like Toronto, like Montreal, like Vancouver, like all those bigger provinces, this is where you can see like other means of transportation. Like in my province, PEI, you need a car as a student, and how many students can afford a car? So for public transportation or public means of transportation, I'll give that to Germany. Number four is culture. I find out that Canadians are friendlier than Germans. Germans are very reserved and they're not easily approachable. They are very direct. And Canadians, on the other hand, like I'm talking about like my experience so far. Like I find out that Canadians are friendlier, they are nicer, and maybe because we as Africans also speak English, and I know that not all African countries speak English, but like maybe we of the English speaking part or the French speaking part of Africa, we can communicate in the same language that they understand. So it is easier for them to help you if you're lost or you need something. So for culture and friendliness, I would say I give it to Canada. And for travel, number one, two, three, four, number six on my list would be travel. So for travel, I'll give it to Germany. And why I say I'll give it to Germany is because the cost of moving in between provinces in Germany is not as expensive as the cost of moving in between provinces in Canada. So let me say this thing. I went to Vancouver for a period of 4 days. I was in Vancouver, and my flight from Vancouver to PEI cost me almost $3,000, about 2,900 and something dollars. It cost me from Vancouver back to PEI. But it is not as expensive if you're moving from like Mainz to Berlin, or Mainz, because I lived in Mainz to Dortmund or Dusseldorf or something. It's not as expensive as that. And something I find really strange here in Canada, I don't know if they do it in Germany because I never took the flight in Germany, is that why is it that I'm booking a flight and I am not able to add my luggage to it? Like I have to pay for the luggage is different. Like the flight is different and the luggage is different. Like I found it very like strange. I don't know if other countries do it, but like back home in Nigeria, I think we're entitled to like 10 to 15 kg, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why most flights in Canada you have to pay for your luggage differently. And this is not the first time. I don't know if this is a standard policy in Canada, but when I also came from Germany to Canada, we also had to pay for our bags, our luggages from Toronto to PEI, and that cost us almost $1,000 for only luggages. So I don't know how that makes me feel. I don't want to spend such money on only luggages. I feel like the luggages should be included in your flight fare, or they should say you can only take 15 kg or 20 kg or whatever kg you can take, and so you can plan ahead. Like a foreigner just coming for the first time and doesn't have that kind of money, what would they do? This is just my own opinion. And the last one is vacation. The number of days, because I never worked in Germany, but I've heard that the number of days you have as a worker in Germany, I think you have 30 days of vacation as compared to Canada, where you have only some places you have only 2 weeks, some places you have only 3 weeks. So yeah, I don't want to talk about taxes because I never worked in Germany, so I don't want to say for sure that the taxes in Canada is a bit higher. I don't know. For that, you have to do your own due diligence and make your own findings. And for anybody that wants to move to Germany or is thinking between Germany and Canada, I hope I highlighted some of the points that will be of interest to you, and maybe you have like thoughts on whether you want to move to Germany or whether you want to move to Canada. I hope this video gives you a positive view as to what country you should choose when you're traveling. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. And thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Bye.